A special domestic abuse court that was set up recently has dealt with 168 cases in just its first month, according to reports. The special court was set up at Warrington Magistrates Court in an attempt to clear a backlog of domestic violence crimes, which is never going to be cleared based on the man-hating campaign currently in full effect. Now, you would think that 168 cases in a single month means that clearly men are dangerous and degenerates. But let's look at the numbers reported. In the first month of operation, a total of 168 cases have been listed, and of these, 42 cases have been dealt with on the first appearance, with 13 committed to Crown Court for trial, sentencing or plea hearing. A total of 54 cases have been adjourned for pleas, trial or pre-sentence reports, and 8 cases have resulted in offenders being remanded into custody. Now, based on my understanding of these numbers, and I could be wrong, maths isn't exactly my strong point, 42 cases have been dealt with, including 13 of those being sent to Crown Court, and 54 others have been adjourned for pleas, trial or pre-sentencing reports, with 8 of those 54 cases having the suspect remanded. That's 96 cases, if my maths are correct. 96 from 168 leaves 72 people who haven't been accounted for in the figures provided in the reports. Now, that could well mean that 72 people were found not guilty. I could be wrong, but the fact the number is omitted from the reports I've seen suggests to me that they've been sent on their merry way, as it doesn't fit the narrative, so best to omit that information rather than to add it. The court began on April the 4th, and any case where there is a charge for a domestic abuse offence will be heard and will remain there unless a trial is required. It said that it will help to ensure consistency in how cases are prepared and dealt with. To be fair, maybe we should consider a similar tactic for all crimes, have a specialist group of judges for each particular crime or offence. To be fair, it makes sense to me. The DV courts will also have a specialist police liaison officer with DV knowledge and skills to liaise with the Crown Prosecution Service and police to ensure that there are no issues that could risk delaying the case, causing it to be relisted or deferred to a later date. Assistant Chief Constable Una Jennings said, "There is no doubt that the court is playing a crucial part in driving home how important it is to deliver justice for victims of domestic violence. From early observations, we are seeing a positive effect on the number of guilty pleas from offenders, and it's great to see so early on the impact that this court is having by cutting down on waiting times for cases to reach court and securing justice for the victims and their families. I made a pledge to tackle priority areas such as domestic abuse and violence against women and girls." There's that phrase again. "And I know that this court is helping to reinforce my message that domestic abuse has no place here in Cheshire. However, I know that we are only scratching the surface of this problem in our county. It is our aim that more victims of domestic abuse can see how this court is leading the way in tackling this abuse and have the confidence in us to deliver justice swiftly for them and remove those dangerous offenders from our streets and their homes." Now, although I think having a dedicated judge who specialises in certain offences would be a good idea, I think the numbers being shown in this report, which have been garnered from other online reports, suggests to me that, as with my earlier report about stalking, which is on occasions classed as domestic abuse, the police have targets to hit, and ruining somebody's life by accusing them of an offence that they later get acquitted of, or a letter of no further action, means nothing to the police. So they will push this narrative and arrest, and in some cases even charge people, even with a slim chance of prosecution, or even that they know are not guilty, simply in order to increase their tally for the next Home Office report into crime statistics. The laws we already had worked fine, and still work fine. The problem, as far as I'm concerned, isn't the law itself. In many cases, it's the fact that the law is being improperly used against people, whether for the police's personal gain or simply to the detriment of someone else, if they couldn't be bothered to investigate, which we've evidently seen recently. If police were trained and tested regularly, had psych evaluations regularly, and were actually dealt with in a no-nonsense way by their bosses, then we wouldn't need to give them quotas. They would be doing what is necessary already. And it's about time government and police stopped worrying about the lack of crime numbers and making them a priority simply to increase those numbers, such as they are doing with this Violence Against Women and Girls campaign. I myself, last year, went to the police over a domestic abuse incident that I was a victim of here in Merseyside. I got no further action letter. I reported a second situation that had come up. I was told that they wouldn't be investigating it because of the way that I spoke to the people involved. So it's all well and good if it was the other way round. I would be slapped with a stalking order or a harassment order or something because I'm a man. But when a man makes a complaint against a woman, getting ignored because it doesn't fit the current narrative. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.